Tonight on ETV News, Eastern Springfest celebration is well underway.
An inspiring story from the women's lacrosse team.
And showing you just how dangerous LED lights can be on the roads. Tonight's edition of ETV News starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April 25th edition of ETV News. I'm Wyatt Cody.
And I'm Zoe Calhoun. Thank you for joining us.
Eastern students had the opportunity to support the track and field team in an event hosted by CAB. The Warriors battled other teams at the Mansfield Athletic Complex this past weekend. The first 20 students to stop by the CAB table at the event were able to pick up a free t-shirt. There were amazing performances between the men and women Warriors with a record-breaking 19 first-place finishes in the Edmondson Classic meet. Great job to all the athletes who competed. Stick around for more athletic updates from ETV Sports' Brennan Lasbury.
Drivers have always faced many issues on the roads, but a new one is on the rise. Reporter Kaylee Roberts details what the problem entails.
When driving during the day, the only issue you might run into is if the sun is hitting your eyes. But nowadays, drivers have to deal with a bigger issue when driving at night that just can't seem to be solved. And that problem is new LED or automatic headlights or high beams on cars. As cars have become more advanced in technology, headlights have evolved as well. It sounds like a subtle change, but warm and not as invasive light was ultimately switched by a blinding bright white light. Susan and Larry Wilder detailed the impact these bright lights have on their driving.
Many of us are beginning cataracts, and so they say the bright light is even more of an issue if you have any sort of cataract on your eye. But there's supposed to be a wider brightness so that you can see better on both sides of the road. But the brightness is startling when you're driving.
I think that the evolution that we've seen in the lights, and you can see it now in the older cars, if you're driving at night, you'll see the older cars, the lights are kind of a yellow, white, and then you'll see bright, and then you see this like super bright, almost like a blue tint, and it's very noticeable. Very difficult if you're driving on a two-lane road and you're trying to follow the line in the middle of the road. It does tend to obscure your visibility for sure. Well, as somebody that is facing them, I can see it being a negative because, particularly again, if you're trying to stay within a lane, the interesting thing is that the other side of the coin is if I'm driving the car, I have not driven a car with LED lights, but I really do like the increased brightness. A lot of times I'll put the high beams on if I don't have oncoming traffic so I can see. So if I had those LED lights, I probably would feel more secure driving, particularly as a senior. But the interesting thing with the LED lights is that if the car is behind you and you're sitting at a stoplight or they're coming up, even though there's a dimmer on the rear view mirror, that extra lighting can be very intense, and that also is a distraction. So you get a combination of, if you're facing the headlights, you have trouble seeing the lines in the road, and if they're behind you, the brightness shines in off your mirror, and that also can be a big distraction.
These dangerous lights have many thinking, whose bright idea was this? Sergeant Christopher Fiore details the negative impact of these lights and what we can do to be more aware of this overlooked issue.
Some aftermarket lights are designed for off-road use only. When using high beams have to be dimmed back to low beams within 500 feet of oncoming traffic. And when you approach traffic from behind, they have to be dimmed within 300 feet of traffic in front of you. Failure to dim high beams is an infraction. It's against the law. It's a mail-in infraction, fine. So you can be pulled over for not dimming your high beams, either to oncoming traffic or behind traffic.
The National Institute of Health reports that, quote, half of the fatal accidents on U.S. roads occur at night, and the number of traffic accidents caused by glare from the high beam headlights of oncoming traffic at night accounts for 12 to 15% of all traffic accidents, unquote. There is no doubt that these lights are becoming an increasingly dangerous piece of technology to have on the roads.
Many individuals are heavily affected by these dangerous lights.
I dislike bright headlights. It's just so distracting.
We wanted to test how bad these headlights are.
So, it's getting a little darker out, it's a little harder to see the roads, where in the middle of the day, we'll say, like, when you're passing a car, their headlights might not be on, so you're not dealing with that eye strain. I definitely do see a safety concern, just like me as a young adult, but also I see in my parents. My dad is in his 50s. I know when he drives at night, it's super hard for him with the new LED lights, and since more and more cars are switching over to the LED lights and not the old duller yellower lights, for him it's super hard. Like, he kind of has to focus on other things on the road, or not, honestly, like, he doesn't drive as much. Like, I kind of dread when I have to drive on a busy road at night because I know there's other cars passing me. Rather, if I know I'm going to be on a darker road, I can see better. Like, after I drive and finish, like, I feel better because I don't have a headache or a migraine.
While driving, make sure you are aware of your surroundings in your car as well. Turn off your high beams when passing another car, don't make direct contact with the light, and adjust your mirrors accordingly. Stay safe, Eastern. For ETV News, this has been Kaylee Roberts with Emily Madden behind the camera, sending it back to the studio.
Thanks for bringing more awareness to this growing issue, Kaylee.
As part of their Springfest series of events this week, CAB hosted their For the Record event this past Tuesday in the Student Center Cafe, featuring John Rush, also known as the Human Spotify. Students were able to request songs from Rush's over 60 hours of memorized music. The event also sported an assortment of novelty craft stations like a DIY album cover station and make your own playlist in a bottle. Springfest is almost over. To be sure you don't miss out on the rest of the festivities, check out CAB's Instagram at CAB Eastern and the campus event calendar.
The Student Center was certainly active last Friday, as Eastern was to host the Create Conference. This annual conference served as a way for students to showcase what they have been working on all semester. The conference took place for the majority of the day and featured 3 sessions of oral presentations, as well as poster presentations in the Betty Tipton Room. There were even performances by students, including poetry, music acts, as well as documentary screenings.
With spring sports fully underway, Eastern's women's lacrosse team has been making great strides. Reporter Addison Toohill details the effort that has gone into making the season a great one.
This year, the Eastern Connecticut State University women's lacrosse team is under new leadership and has developed a whole new outlook on the game of lacrosse. After finishing last year's season 5-11 overall and 3-4 in conference, the Warriors welcome back Eastern women's lacrosse alumni and 2-time Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year, Devin Duran, to head the program. Duran graduated from Eastern in 2017 after being named to the All-Little East Conference team for 4 straight years, and first team 3 of those 4 times. After graduating from ECSU in 2017, Duran served as Eastern's assistant coach under former head coach Christine Hutchinson for 2 years. After serving as the assistant coach at Eastern, Duran took a head coaching position at Mitchell College before becoming the head coach at Framingham State University, where she led the Rams to their first MASCAC tournament championship win in program history. And then, in the fall of 2023, Duran returned home to the Warriors as the first alumnus to assume the head coaching position in program history. Duran came into the program hoping to make lacrosse fun again and to prove to the players that they already have all the tools they need to be successful. They just have to be willing to work for it. Duran brings a new energy to the program, reigniting players' passion for the game and creating a familial atmosphere in which her players can thrive. First-year defensive player Sophia Romino has nothing but positive words to share about Coach Duran and the culture she has created so far this season.
I knew Coach growing up, and she's always just been such a positive impact on my lacrosse life and personal life. I mean, she's always there for us when we need something. She's always in our office, which is super helpful. I mean, as a freshman, she did a great job integrating us into the team. I mean, the sidelines during the games is the best energy I've ever felt, especially during our Southern Maine game. It was so exciting. It's just the team energy is crazy sometimes.
After being ranked 5th out of 8 Little East Conference teams in the preseason polls, Eastern Connecticut entered conference play with something to prove. Coach Duran started the season looking to find the balance between having fun and pushing the team to their maximum potential. This means intense practices, lifts, long film sessions, and study halls to ensure that her athletes succeed in the classroom as well. Duran has created team buy-in among her players, pushing them to their limits and showing them that they have the skill that they need to be successful in the Little East Conference and beyond. And now, with a little less than a week before playoffs begin, the Warriors have exceeded all expectations. For the first time since Coach Duran was a student at Eastern, the Warriors have begun conference play with a 5-0 record. Duran's impact on the Warriors has been both immediate and immeasurable, but has not been a solo effort. Every player on the team has stepped up to the plate, ready to give their all to their new coach and their teammates. Fifth-year senior captain Jessica Pyrek-Bennett had a lot to say about the culture the team has worked to create this season.
As a captain in this season, I want to make the culture in this team very positive and outgoing. From the last couple seasons we had, it was always a little bit different, and the culture this year is super positive, super having each other's back on and off the field, and making sure we have those relationships and friendships off the field as well as on the field, because that's what makes us succeed the most. And just having a positive, fun environment all the time. Going to practice every day is fun. Nobody dreads it. And just having teammates that feel the same way about you is just awesome.
Positive energy and confidence have been the Warriors' secret weapons for beginning the season so strong, and they are showing no signs of stopping. With the conference playoffs on the horizon, the Warriors look to continue to prove to everyone what they are capable of. First-year Grace Saldana spoke on the Warriors' positive energy and how it drives them further and keeps them going when things get tough.
Okay, my favorite part about being on this team is the chemistry that everybody has, and how we're all just best friends and we're all cheer each other on constantly, and the energy that everybody has.
The season, however, has not been smooth sailing by any means. The Warriors have been gritty and determined, upsetting teams that they have not beat in multiple years, including defending conference champions Plymouth State University and the Huskies of the University of Southern Maine, where they came back from a 3-point deficit 2 separate times. This determination is reflected in the way they practice, pushing their teammates to be the best possible players they can be. So how did Duran make such a turnaround? Where does she plan to take the program next? The sky is the limit for this group as far as Coach Duran is concerned.
Well, we're 5-0 right now in conference, so I would say that that's pretty dang good. We've got 2 more regular season games left, probably our 2 biggest games of the season. I think if we do show up and do our job and do what we're preparing to do, then we could be at the top this season, which is really awesome. So I think the thing that I am most proud of this team right now is that we have already exceeded everybody's expectations, and I hope that they just know that proves that they could have done it all along. It's been within them, inside of them this whole time, and it's just taken a little bit of confidence in order to bring that out of them. So if we continue to work hard, then the sky is the limit for us, I think, in the LEC, so I'm super excited about that.
And the Warriors are not done yet. They look to move into playoffs with the same grit and determination that they have faced the entire season with, and to continue turning heads and blowing expectations out of the water, with Coach Duran at the helm. And we can't wait to see what they do next.
Conference playoffs are coming up for the Warriors, so be sure to support them as they continue competing.
The African Club of Eastern put on their Afro Essence showcase in the Geisler Gymnasium this past weekend with 4 fashion scenes, all of the clothing combined from different African cultural pieces with modern styles, and featured 2 guest designers. Along with the fashion, guests were treated to several performances from the Afro Light dance team and its independent artists, Stormy Max and the Movie Brothers. Combined with a high-energy host and DJ, the event created a fun night for everyone in the audience. For more information on the African Club and their upcoming events, follow them on Instagram at ACE_ECSU.
In addition to CAB's Human Spotify event, they also hosted Tune Into Springfest. Students were able to soak in the sun on the Student Center patio and listen to smooth jazz. CAB employees were there to spill the details on what to expect over the upcoming week. They also handed out exclusive Springfest t-shirts to students. Coming up for Springfest, rapper Waka Flocka Flame will be performing at Eastern this Sunday, and you won't want to miss it.
This week, Eastern's campus has revolved around one thing, and that's music. Reporter Andrew Melia stopped by the Student Center to see what everyone has been listening to.
Hello, Eastern. My name is Andrew Melia. A lot of artists have come out with new songs, including Kendrick Lamar, Drake, Taylor Swift, and many others. So today, we will be asking Eastern students what songs and artists they've been listening to lately.
I would say my favorite artist of the last year and a half has been Led Zeppelin, and my favorite song by them has been Ramble On.
I've been listening to Joji, actually, Last of Us. It's my favorite right now.
Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Car Seat Headrest, specifically their album Teens of Denial.
I've been listening to some SZA, Playboy Cardi, and a little bit of Drake.
I feel like I'm always constantly listening to like Radiohead. That's usually always in the shuffle.
I've been listening to a lot of Bob Marley, Mac Miller, Kali Uchis, and Shakira.
I've been listening to M3. The most recent song is Return of Mark. It's a really good song.
I've been listening to Suicide Boys, and I've been listening to Foot Fungus by Ski Mask.
So recently I've been listening to a lot of this band called Newfound Glory. They're from the early 2000s, and this one song by them called Hit or Miss has been kind of stuck in my head for a while, but that's a band I've been recently listening to.
I've been listening to LMA, Janae Akio, and Kalani.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have a wide variety of music tastes from our students. We can't wait to see what the rest of the year brings in terms of music. For ETV News, I'm Andrew Melia. Wyatt and Zoe, back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Personally, I have been listening to the Tortured Poets department a lot recently.
To celebrate Earth Day, Eastern's music department put on a chorale concert in the Fine Arts Amphitheater. Reporter Brendan Lasbury was there to get all the details.
Hello there, Eastern. I'm Brendan Lasbury, and I'm here at the Fine Arts Institutional Center here for the Spring 2024 Choral Concert Earth Day celebration. The music department has put on a fantastic performance for us, so let's go inside and see what they have to offer. On Monday, April 22nd, Eastern Concert Chorale and Chamber Singers held the Spring 2024 concert. The concert took place in Eastern's Fine Arts Institutional Center, located in their concert hall. The concert was in celebration of Earth Day, as the event took place on the same day as the holiday. The performance featured a wide variety of songs, instruments, and even had variation in the size of its chorus for a couple of different songs. Led by conductor David Bells and pianist Eric Olette, the choir put on a fantastic performance that was beloved by the audience. We interviewed one of the bass players performing in today's concert and asked him a few questions, such as, what did you guys do to prepare for this concert? What did it feel like to be in this concert? And what did this all mean to you? Here's what he had to say.
So we meet twice a week. We meet Monday, Wednesdays, 5:30 to 6:45, and we kind of like the first few times we kind of just get used to the music that we get, and then like we kind of work on what sections, if we have trouble with it, we kind of like go through it and make sure everything's like clicking. This is my 6th concert, I think. I'm in my senior year, so I'm kind of used to it by now, but it's kind of nice to like, you have all this work that you've prepared over like the full semester and to finally present it to everyone. It feels nice to like share the music with everyone. I think it means a lot, like bonding with people who share the love of music. Like most of my friends that I've made at Eastern is through choir. It was like one of the first kind of groups I was part of, so it's kind of nice sharing that like passion for music with everyone. The hard work of the choir definitely showed itself that evening. Congratulations to them on a fantastic performance. If you are disappointed that you missed out on this concert, don't worry. Eastern still has multiple more musical performances left in the year, such as the Percussion Ensemble concert on April 26th, Eastern's Jazz Ensemble and Jazz Combo concert on April 29th, as well as the Student Chamber Music Recital on the 30th. Well, there you have it. It was a fantastic concert here by the performers, worthy of celebrating the planet that we live on. Well, that'll do it here from us. I'm Brendan Lasbury, here with my partner Cole Monacia. Wyatt and Zoe, back to you.
Thanks, Brendan. Be sure to check out the upcoming concerts as the semester wraps up. Up next, Jason Saloy joins us for the Eastern Forecast. Don't go anywhere.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Meet the scan. A simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back. Jason Saloy is in the studio to give us the weather. Over to you, Jason.
Right now, this is our eastern forecast for today, as currently it is 49 degrees under mostly clear skies. Humidity will be at 45%, with southeast winds being 5 miles per hour. Now, let's take a look at our extended forecast for this week. During the weekend, we will be under sunny skies in the low 60s, while on Monday, it will be in the mid-70s under sunny skies. On Tuesday, look out for some showers in the mid-70s. Make sure you guys have your raincoats for that day. Let's take a look at our ETV sports forecast. There we go. This Saturday, both the track and field teams will be over in Dartmouth, Mass. for the Little East Conference Championship. Event time will start at 10 a.m. Softball will be up the road in New Hampshire as they will be playing Plymouth State University in a doubleheader. The first game will be at 1 p.m., while the other will be at 3 p.m. Let's take a look at the forecast for those areas. Over in Dartmouth, it will be sunny in the low 50s, while over in Plymouth, it will be in the mid-60s under sunny skies as well. I wish all the teams the best of luck in all their games. For more on upcoming games, you can check out GoWarriorAthletics.com for schedules and game updates, or you can check out right after National Block ETV Sports' Brendan Lasbury for more athletic updates. But before we head out, let's take a quick look at our Eastern radar. As you can see on the radar right here, in the northeast area, there really isn't anything going on. It's mostly clear. But if you see in the southwest area, there's a storm that is brewing up right above Arkansas. Mostly that will be veering towards the east northern area, mostly in that area, but it should hopefully avoid us at all costs. That is all for the weather. Until next time, stay dry when it's wet, stay cool when it's hot, and most importantly, stay indoors when the weather's just downright confusing. I'm Jason Saloy in the studio, finally matching my colleagues, sending it back to Zoe and Wyatt.
Thanks for the weekly weather, Jason. Up next, a former football star gets his trophy back, a breach of security involving the company Ring, and new music from Taylor Swift. Stay with us for this and more after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
On Monday, Minnesota State Senator Nicole Mitchell was charged with a first-degree felony burglary on suspicion of breaking into her stepmother's house. The senator was reportedly attempting to steal back items from her late father, including his ashes. The senator was caught in all-black clothing and was arrested at 4:45 in the morning. State Republicans in Minnesota have filed an ethics complaint against Mitchell, a Democrat, stating, quote, "Senators must be held to the highest standard of ethical conduct. Public trust has been violated," unquote. Mitchell was released without bond on multiple conditions, including that she not have contact with her stepmother.
Ring camera users were shocked to hear that 117,000 refunds were issued by the Federal Trade Commission. It comes from a settlement with Ring after a company allowed employees and contractors to access cameras. They were able to see private camera footage without the user's consent and or knowledge. The company was also accused of failing to implement security protections to keep hackers out of customers' accounts. So far, the FTC has identified more than $5.6 million worth of refunds. Consumers who think they are entitled to a refund can request one on the FTC's website.
When many think about school lunches, they might think back to the cartons of chocolate milk or strawberry milk, pizza day, or even maybe ice cream for special occasions. This might all come to an end. On Wednesday, the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced new meal standards that will limit added sugar and sodium. Beginning in the 2025 to 2026 school year, foods such as cereals, yogurts, and even flavored milks will have limits on added sugar. By the 2027 to 28 school year, they will achieve a 10% cap on added sugars. When it comes to sodium, the rule requires that sodium will be cut by 15% in lunches and 10% in breakfasts by the 27 to 28 school year.
To no one's surprise, Taylor Swift is once again shattering records. Her latest album, The Tortured Poets Department, dropped Friday. In just the first day alone, it became the most streamed LP across Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. Swift announced a few hours after the album drop that The Tortured Poets Department would be a double album with 31 songs on Swift's 11th studio album. She has quite literally outdone herself, taking over the Spotify title previously held by her 10th album, Midnights. In addition to that, Swift became Spotify's most streamed artist overall just last year, with an overwhelming 26 billion streams worldwide.
Speaking of music, the class of inductees for the 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has been announced. In the performer category, the inductees are Cher, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Ozzy Osbourne, Peter Frampton, Foreigner, Kool and the Gang, and A Tribe Called Quest. For the Musical Excellence Award, it's Dionne Warwick, Jimmy Buffett, MC5, and Norman Whitfield. In order to be considered, the artist or band must have released its commercial recording 25 years prior to the nomination year. The induction will take place this October in Cleveland, Ohio.
Reggie Bush was recently re-awarded his Heisman Trophy. The former USC running back had initially received this award for being the best player in college football for the 2005 season. Bush won the award after putting up statistics of 2,611 yards and 18 touchdowns that year. However, the NCAA revoked his award in 2010 after he violated NCAA rules by giving financial benefits to players, something that at the time was not allowed. However, after the rise of the NIL deals, where players are allowed to benefit financially as college athletes, as well as the large outcry from fans, the NCAA returned the award back to Bush. He responded to the ruling by posting a picture to Instagram of himself holding the trophy, saying, quote, "No one can take from you what God has for you."
Coming up, Brendan Lasbury joins us to give an update on Eastern athletics. Don't go anywhere.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Thanks for sticking with us. Let's check in with Brendan to see what is going on around Eastern Athletics this week.
Welcome back here to ETV Sports Recaps. I'm Brendan Lasbury. The spring season is winding down, but Eastern Athletics still gave us plenty of action last week, so let's get right into it. Starting off with baseball, they played 4 games in total last week, starting off with a doubleheader versus Endicott College, the #1 ranked team in D3 baseball on Saturday. Unfortunately for the Warriors, they would be swept at home against Endicott College, with their first game ending 5-9 and their next one 0-4. However, the Warriors would bounce back against Keene State College, winning that 5-4. That great game had great performances by Jason Claiborne with 3 hits on the day, netting him 2 RBIs, and by Ryan Parent, who hit a home run that would win Eastern the game. Let's take a look at Parent's home run. Here we are in the top of the 7th as Parent hits that one high and deep into center field. It is going and it is gone. Eastern now leads 5-1. This week, Nathan Farino was named D3 Team of the Week and Pitcher of the Week. Congrats to him. The Warriors are now 23-8, 10-1 in the LEC, and rank as the number 18 team in D3 baseball. Softball would have themselves 2 doubleheaders this week. First up, they will travel to VTSU Castleton. In the first game, they would win 12-3, with Alyssa Vilches doing her best Shohei Ohtani impression by doing it all, both on the mound, going 7 innings with 3 runs allowed, and driving home 3 runs of herself. However, in the second game, they would fall 7-9 to the Spartans. Then the Warriors traveled back home in another doubleheader, this time against Western Connecticut State. Again, the Warriors would split the series, winning the first game 7-0, with Vilches throwing a complete game shutout and Emma Morelli driving home 3 with 2 hits. Let's take a look at one of Morelli's hits in this game. Here we are. It is the bottom of the second with 2 outs. Soft grounder to the second baseman, but she can't get to it. Both runners are going to round home and they will score, and now Eastern leads 4-0. After the game, both Maggie Baker and Julia Sangiovanni stuck around for a post-game interview to tell us about their performance. Unfortunately, the Warriors would fall in the next one, 1-5. The Warriors are now 14-3-1 on the season and 6-4 in the LEC. Men's lacrosse had a light week, only playing 1 game over at the University of Southern Maine on Saturday. The Warriors would capitalize on this road trip with a dominating victory 19-8. Tanner Drobish and Connor Chirico leading the way with 5 goals each. Quinn O'Connor also reached 100 career points in this game, and Rick O'Neill dominated in both face-offs and ground ball victories. The Warriors are now 5-10 on the season and 2-5 in the LEC. Women's lacrosse had themselves 2 games. First up was against the University of Southern Maine on Friday, where the Warriors would manage to win this game 12-10 after an incredible come-from-behind victory. Neely Hart did a great job by keeping the Warriors in the game throughout with 2 goals and 3 assists, but the story of the game was Jenna Mahoney, who came off the bench in the 4th quarter when Eastern was down 10-7 and scored 4 goals to earn Eastern the victory in this game. Let's take a look at Mahoney's go-ahead goal. Here we are. After the game, Fernando Geronimo caught up with Mahoney to talk to her about her performance. Unfortunately for the Warriors, their next game against Western Connecticut State was on the road Wednesday and would end in defeat 8-19. The Warriors are now 8-7 and 5-1 in the LEC. Eastern's track and field team was at home this weekend for the Bonnie Edmondson Classic on Saturday. The Warriors would have themselves a great day, taking home 15 first-place finishes in total, along with multiple high finishes in other events. Tasha Frisk tied a program record in the women's pole vault with a height of 11-9 3/4 or 3.6 meters. The men's relay teams in the 4x100 and 4x400 also managed to set a program records. And in total, 5 programs records were broken at the event by all teams. In total, it was a fantastic performance by the Warriors, with multiple athletes setting records and dominating the day. And finally, for Eastern's golf this week, they traveled to Roger Williams University for their spring invitational on Sunday and Monday. The Warriors managed to finish third out of a group of 8 teams, going 55 over par after finishing 4th on Sunday. Ashton Lewis had a great performance, finishing 3rd in total, 2nd on Monday, and 1st overall on the team with a score of 149 strokes, finishing 7 over par. What an action-packed week it was for the Warriors, but with one final week to go for our spring sports, let's take a look at what athletics has coming up. On Friday, men's lacrosse will play VTSU Castleton at home starting at 4. On Saturday, baseball has a home doubleheader on against Massachusetts Boston starting at noon. Softball has a doubleheader at Plymouth State starting at 1. Women's lacrosse will play Keene State starting at home starting at 1 p.m. And track and field will be traveling up to Dartmouth for LEC Conference Championships starting at 10. On Tuesday, baseball is on the road to WestCon starting 3:30. Softball is home versus Rhode Island College starting at 3:30 as well. And the lacrosse teams will start their LEC Conference Tournament play. Finally, on Thursday, golf will be at Western Connecticut State with a noon start time. Well, that'll do it here for this week's recap. Good luck to all our teams competing with their upcoming events. To keep up to date with all things Warriors Athletics, follow us at social media at EasternCT_athletics and check out our website, GoWarriorsAthletics.com. As always, all of our live streams are brought to you by Huddle. That's it for sports this week. I'm Brendan Lasbury. Wyatt and Zoe, back to you.
Thanks for the update, Brendan. That wraps up tonight's edition of ETV News. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
From Director Hannah Lasbury, Producer Kaylee Roberts, and the entire ETV News staff, thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Zoe Calhoun.
And I'm Wyatt Cody. We'll see you next week, Eastern.